Hello and welcome to the Jesters Court. As you might have noticed if you tried to watch live last night, we were having technical difficulties, which prevented it to be streaming, prevented us from streaming, and also kind of ruined the first 20 minutes of the episode. So let me do some introductions real quick. Tonight we're talking with Jacob Craig and Jason Robbins of the Open Micers podcast. We have our usual guest host, Momthulu, and we have Joshua Jack, author, and we're talking about our favorite Christmas movies. Um, we're just going to jump in now into where the recording became usable, and I apologize. There's some really good stuff in the beginning that we're missing out on, but the rest of it's pretty good too. I hope you guys enjoy.
That puts the oil on the stairs, and you're like, oh yeah, that's Home Alone. So,
Let's watch the movie about the boy psychopath who tries to murder two robbers.
Two adult men.
Well, the conversation I have with myself every time I watch that movie now as an adult is the one that we all have. What in the world does his father do to afford that house?
Yeah,
he's a day trader. Something.
That's the kind of house that makes you go, I've made good life choices, but apparently I haven't made the best life choices.
I haven't made the best ones, right?
Well, apparently his parents weren't very good friends with the old man that lived next door, the one that all the kids were afraid of, because they could have just called him and been like, hey, can you go next door and tell Kevin that we're sorry and we're going to be home soon, so don't freak out.
Well, let's count the ways that technology has solved that entire movie premise. I mean,
cell phones.
Cell phones is number one.
GPS.
9/11, post 9/11 airport security, because there's no way the kids would just run through the gate without being counted.
No kidding. That's what I was thinking about. I watched this last weekend, and I was thinking, man, if you run through an airport like that now, you're going to get tackled and thrown into a back room for about 8 hours.
Right? Man, my favorite scenes, though, are the ones where he's being real petty because his parents aren't there, so he's loading up on junk food, and he's like, I'm watching rubbish and eating junk. Oh, no, somebody stop me, Those are my favorite.
Now.
And then my favorite Christmas movie, and if I cry on camera, I'm sorry, I'm a woman. I have estrogen. But my favorite Christmas movie of all time is called Emmett Otter's Jug Band Christmas.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And it is not
I love that movie.
Yes, you're the only person I've ever met that knows the movie.
What's it called? I've never heard of it.
Emmett Otter's Jug Band Christmas. So Emmett Otter's Jug Band Christmas is a Jim Henson movie. You do get to see Kermit very briefly in the beginning as he's introducing the movie, but otherwise none of the actual Muppets from the original Muppet cast are in there. It's a story about Emmett Otter and his mom. His mom's a laundress, and they're kind of poor, but he wants to win the Christmas talent show with his jug band. So he nails a hole in her wash bin. And
what was the other band's name? The River Bottom Nightmare Band?
River Bottom Nightmare Band.
Yeah.
Because, I used to love that movie when I was a kid. I watched it all the time, and then I didn't watch it for 30 years, and I watched it a few years ago, and I was bored to tears as watching it as an adult. I just could not get into it.
We watch that movie every Christmas because there's just so many quotable moments in it.
There's the song about the lady's bathing suit, the very beginning song. They're talking about, they're singing a song about an old grandma, but the only way you could really ever remember her was by the bathing suit she wore. And it's a cute little song, but for me, it just sums up my whole childhood, which I didn't have a very great childhood, but one of the very best memories I have is sitting on my dad's knee watching Emmett Otter's Jug Band Christmas, and he's no longer with us, so every time I watch it, I have to watch it alone now. Cry my eyes out.
Well, isn't that interesting? I mean, it's interesting how music and movies especially can take us back to a different time and special people that we have in our lives. Yeah. I mean, that's part of the reason why we watch It's a Wonderful Life. I mean, because we had the same type of experience, because of all the people that we did watch it with at one point, they're no longer here. So that's really cool. I appreciate you. I'm going to go check that out. I've never seen it.
It's a good movie. You might be bored to tears now that you're,
Hey, I'm pretty eclectic. You never know. I'm all over the place.
You'll be the tiebreaker vote because I have no attachment to it at all. I've kind of, it's there. I know it's there, but I nothing it. Jacob was super excited. Jay said he was bored in tears. So we'll have to use you as the deciding vote. Is this watchable as an adult?
Yeah, so we'll come back on the next. On the
Don't
next
get me
show,
wrong. I love anything Henson does, and I don't know what it is. I just couldn't. It was so boring watching it as an adult, and I don't know why, because I loved it as a kid.
I'm
And I was
laughing
like,
because she's like how like I'm so emotional when I watch this. You're
It's
like
very
it's boring.
emotional.
well, that's the thing. I mean, I hadn't seen it in like 30 years, and it popped up on Netflix a few years ago, and I was so excited. I was like, oh my god, I've not seen this since I was a kid. I got like 30 minutes into it, and I was like, I'm done. I can't finish this. This is so boring.
Every time I watch it, and I watch it once a year, like I still laugh at that movie. Like there's still a lot of comedic value in that movie.
There is. It's
that I appreciate.
It's not as comedic though as Henson's other stuff, like with the Muppets. There's always those funny little rats running around and stuff, and there's none of that in this. There's that weird snake and the bear guy, but
It's like they made a movie
of
with all the scraps from the other Muppets, and they made a movie with those scraps. Is what it felt like watching it a few years ago.
That is one of those movies though, where if you go onto like the bonus reel of the DVD, they like acted out bloopers or the blooper, like they used to do with Pixar back in the day, where they would animate bloopers just because.
Yeah.
I do love Muppet Christmas Carol, though. I
That's
think
what I
the
was about
Muppet
to
Christmas
say.
Carol
I'm glad
is
you brought
the best version.
I'm glad you brought that up, because is that the one with Michael Caine?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I saw a meme the other day on Facebook, and it was funny because it's like, hey, we're gonna do a Muppet show, and it's gonna be fun, and you can have a little bit of fun with it, and then it has a picture of Michael Caine. Yeah, he's gonna act it out as serious as possible.
I saw that meme too. Yes.
Yeah.
You are absolutely right, Jay. It is the best version of A Christmas Carol that there is out there, and I love all versions of A Christmas Carol.
Wait. You say that, but you know how many there are?
There's so many.
Oh my gosh, they make
There's
one
so
every
many.
year. They make one. In fact, I watched one last night to get prepared for this episode because I didn't know what we were going to be talking, and we watched a Christmas Carol from 1935. It's on, I think it's on Amazon Prime, and it was okay. But what's interesting is so I was watching this movie last night, and it was made in 1935, and obviously the technology is a little bit obviously old, but then you have It's a Wonderful Life just 9 or 10 years later, and the differences in quality. Sorry, I'm going a little bit cerebral here, but the differences in quality between the 1935 and the 1940s, I mean, it's just amazing. Anyway.
Yeah. Then, you're talking about everything changed when Wizard of Oz came out. Once Wizard of Oz, it was like a whole new ball game. After everybody had to up their game after that.
Mm-hmm.
That's absolutely right.
But wait! Before we get too far into it, we need to talk to Mike about what his favorite movies are.
Oh, I was about to interrupt before we went back to Jake because his was broken up. But I will go ahead and say, since you're talking about Christmas Carol, in a world where Scrooge exists, are we really saying the Muppets are the best?
Yeah,
I was just about to ask, is anybody here a Scrooged fan?
Because Scrooged is on my list.
Listen, that is a classic cast. My favorite is whenever, she's the fairy, she's like, it's a toaster! And she just smacks him in the face with it. It's the best movie. It really is. But no, I would still say the Muppet is better.
The only reason Scrooged gets edged out to the number 2 spot behind the Muppet Christmas Carol is because I have to be in the mood to watch Scrooged, because it is such a dark comedy. Like Muppet Christmas Carol, you can watch anytime. But Scrooge, I have to be in the proper mindset to watch Scrooge.
You're gonna like the other things or at least one of the other things on my list too, then, because one of my other picks was The Ref, which I don't know if any of you are familiar with it.
Yeah.
Dennis Leary basically kidnapping a family at Christmas time.
I have not seen that since it came out in the theater.
Oh, it's freaking hilarious. And it's Dennis Leary before he got all political and weird, when he still wanted to watch his stand-up. And
yeah.
It's hilarious.
What else?
I don't even remember much of that movie, so I'm gonna have to go back and watch it one of these days.
The basic premise is he's a burglar. He gets caught, and the police are looking for him. So he breaks into these. He gets these people at a gas station and gets them to take him home, and he takes them hostage to hide out while the cops are looking for him. And in the process of the movie,
You know, Christmas.
it's Kevin Spacey, you know, and it playing the husband, and I forget who played the wife, but they basically are horrible marriage,
Alright.
fighting the whole time. And, you know, he ends up being like the movie titled The Ref. He's like refereeing these two people to keep himself from going to jail and getting busted. It's
Yeah,
great.
dude. Shout out to Kevin Spacey.
I could like the stuff he did while acknowledging that apparently he is a big a-hole. Like,
Okay.
why is it always the
So-
good people end up being like D-bags? Like Joss Whedon, like why'd you have to ruin Firefly for me by being a D-bag, Joss Whedon?
Because that's how human nature is, but you know.
You just got to learn to separate the art from the artist.
That's what you have to do these days because so much as that's coming up. And then I promised Jacob one that was embarrassing that only my wife here knows, and that would be
Yeah.
Oh God, what's the freaking title of it, babe? The Hugh Grant. I just went blank.
Love
Nine
Actually.
I know what
Yes,
you're talking
Love
about.
Actually. Yes.
Love Actually, dude. That movie's fucking great, bro. I don't care what anyone
That's-
says. That's a great movie.
That was
There's
why
nothing
I've
wrong
never
with that
confessed to
movie.
anyone but my wife that I'm a fan of that movie.
Guilty do exist, like Emmett Otter's Jug Band Christmas. So, you know, it's fine. I might rip on you later and ask you if you need me to hold your purse, but
Well, now I know I got Jacob in my corner.
Yeah, dude, that's a
Mine
great
too,
movie. When
so-
you need, hey, it's hard being a man, okay? And sometimes you want to just turn on a movie and fucking cry a little bit, and that's one of those movies that you can turn on and just cry a little bit, okay?
And unlike other movies, it aged okay. Like, I mean, there's some things you look at it now, and you know, in today's lenses, like, oh, you probably shouldn't say that. But compared to some other stuff from our childhood, that has aged great. Because you know,
Yeah.
four of us in this podcast are old enough to remember Nerds and how funny it was in the '80s. And you look back at it now, it's like, that's
Yeah, thanks.
a little rapey.
Yeah.
yeah,
Not all our treasures aged well, is my point.
no.
But
And it has
Jacob,
Liam Neeson in it, dude.
that's
Anything
true.
with Liam Neeson in it is badass.
That's true.
You are absolutely right about that, yeah.
So I do want to circle back to
No.
Jacob. Oh,
No, there's a movie with Liam Neeson that I thought was just god awful, and I saw it on Prime the other day, and it was something about ice road truckers or something. Yes, he was a badass.
Oh, I know what movie you're talking about, but I
Yes.
can't remember
About
the
the
name of it.
gray.
No,
Is it
no,
the
that was
gray?
that was no, that
That
was
fights the
okay.
wolves?
No, that was okay.
The cover
No,
art
this-
for the movie is a tree, as a car stuck up in a snow-filled tree, isn't it?
Cold
Well,
Pursuit.
I don't know, but let me tell you
Sounds
something.
like Cold Pursuit.
It was god awful. It was the worst movie I ever saw. Not ever, but definitely below his skills. And what's funny is like there was a bunch of big name actors in this movie. Like I think some other people. I can't think of any of them. But yeah, no, that it was just sadly didn't hit the mark, so to speak. It was one of those direct to DVD movies, and I was really sad to see that his name was attached to it.
he probably
Yeah,
is too.
Yeah, but
He had a car payment. He had a car payment through that month.
yeah. Dude, I would watch Liam Neeson take a shit, dude. I don't care. Like, it could be the worst movie ever.
Because you were talking about Michael Caine earlier, and one of my favorite stories about Michael Caine is somebody. It was an interview or something, and they were like talking about asking him, did he regret doing Jaws 4? And he said no, because I like the house that it bought.
Right.
Like, that's a good answer.
That was a terrible movie.
It's called The Ice Road, and it just
Ice-
came out in 2021.
Yeah, Ice Road. That
god
was it.
awful.
That's like
Yeah.
Bill Murray and the zombie movie, babe.
The Dead Don't Die, or
No,
something?
God,
Zombieland.
we're not talking about that
Oh,
one.
no,
Zombieland.
not Zombieland.
Zombieland.
Not
No,
Zombieland.
no, listen to me. Let me finish. His line, we're like, do you regret anything? Maybe Garfield.
Oh, maybe Garfield.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we went
Yeah,
and saw
but,
that The Dead Don't Die movie, and we both hated
Yeah,
it.
we're not
like,
talking about that movie. Talk about loaded with
Just-
lots of good people and sucking.
Mm.
Yeah, it was okay.
Jason's
Have you
making a
not
face
seen-
like he
no,
disagrees.
we
Oh,
didn't.
that's another podcast.
I'm just wondering, have they ever done a zombie Christmas movie?
Momthulu would be the one to ask.
Not a good one.
There's
Open up
I
this
didn't know about
present.
it.
Not a good one, but is there a good bad one? Because there are lots of great bad movies.
Oh gosh.
That's true.
Oh well, hey, that opens up a discussion. What's the worst Christmas movie you've ever seen?
Ooh.
I can tell you mine.
Go for it.
What's that?
Christmas with the Cranks. Did anybody see that one?
Yeesh.
Oh yeah, that is pretty bad.
No, I was smart enough to avoid that one.
Well, it was like, okay, so it has Tim Allen, and it has oh gosh, she was on Halloween.
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Thank you, Jamie Lee Curtis. And you think that, yeah, I mean, great, right? You think that would be somewhat okay. And we couldn't get it 15 minutes. I think we gave it 20 minutes, and it was just like, nope, click, and we turned it off.
One movie that I've had to happen to, and it wasn't a Christmas movie, but I've never walked out of the theater except for one time, and that was Mod Squad. About 15 minutes into it, I looked at the girl that I was with. I was like, "Do you want to go? I don't care that we just spent $20 on popcorn and $20 on tickets. I'm done." And I love Claire Danes. Hated that movie.
I can't. The only bad Christmas movie I can think of was I got friends dragged me to see. I think it was the Santa Claus 3 in the theater, and I fell asleep like 20 minutes into it.
Hang on, guys.
I don't know if it was a bad movie or not,
Santa
but
Claus
I just
3 on this
slept through it.
podcast right now. Dude.
Hey, I was gonna say, hang on, guys. Jacob's about to show his age and be like, "No, that was great because it's from my childhood."
That's
Yeah.
it's a good movie, dude. It's a good movie. He just doesn't want to be Santa Claus anymore, and Martin Short's like, "I'll be Santa Claus," and he's a horrible fucking Santa Claus. It's a great movie, dude.
I don't remember anything from it. I was asleep.
I tell you, the movie that surprised me a lot was Christmas Chronicles. Did anybody watch that? I came out
Those
a
are
couple years ago.
great.
Yeah,
Those movies
yeah.
are really
Yeah,
good.
so Kurt Russell's in it, and like I said, I think my wife and I we watched it a couple years ago, and it was one of those things like, God, this is probably gonna be another Hallmark, quintessential Christmas movie, and it was, but it was actually really well done. I was surprised. I was pleasantly surprised.
Someone else was
better
talking
than
about
they-
this recently.
They're better than they deserve to be. Like, they're actually really good.
Jay, was it you that I heard? Someone I was listening to or a show I was watching mentioned those specifically, and I was like, I may have to check them out.
It might have been me, because
Oh,
I've
no,
talked about those movies before.
Yeah, if you haven't watched it, man, I would really recommend it because they're not that bad. I mean, they're pretty good.
All right. While we have time, before we run out of time, and while we have audio going good for Jacob, we were talking about Batman Forever. You want to continue with your
Batman Returns.
Batman Returns.
Yeah, my Christmas movies. I was gonna mention Die Hard too. Jason already covered Die Hard. I watch Batman Returns every single year because I love unconventional Christmas movies, and it's one of those that like takes place during Christmas. Christmas is like the whole setting of the movie, and you get to see Batman just beat the shit out of people on Christmas. And I really like Elf too, like Elf and
Will Ferrell's great,
and the Jim Carrey Grinch as well. So those are like the two comedies and the two action movies I have to watch.
Did you read? Did you hear? I was reading something recently where they were talking about Elf, and they wanted to do a sequel, and it was so bad that Will Ferrell was like, "No, I'm not doing it."
It better be bad if he says no to a movie.
Well, I'm glad that he didn't, he followed through with that.
God damn, Momthulu! Just light them up, why don't you?
To answer the question,
Elf is one of those really perfect one-off movies that does not need a sequel because it stays just as relevant every single year that goes by. So why try to mess with that and taint it by making a far less quality product?
Money.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah,
Mike, you and I, man,
and
we're there.
as far as like the worst Christmas movie I've ever seen, I would have to say it's Krampus. Because like I watched it, thinking like, oh, it's Christmas and murder, two of my favorite things, and it's just a horrible movie. A subpar plot.
You were right. Krampus was really bad. Like, I was jazzed to see it because I love all the Krampus stuff that they have. And so I went and saw that shit in theaters, and I think either I drug Jester with me or I drug one of my friends.
It wasn't me,
with me to go see it. And then we started watching it, and I was like, this is shit. This is absolute shit. This is hot garbage. So I'm with you there.
Most of the horror movies you dragged me to, so you're not scared, are pretty bad.
I'm such a scaredy cat, but this movie was absolutely boring. It was just boring. I mean, now I'm gonna go off on a tangent, but I hate plotless horror movies like I do. Like everybody was big jazzed about that movie Hostel, and there was hardly a plot
Yeah.
to it. It was
I
like,
hate those
hi,
movies.
we're just at a hostel. We're gonna get murdered. You know,
wait,
like,
wait. There was a plot. It was Saw made a bunch of money. Let's make another Saw,
Yeah,
but call it something different so people will go.
it was basically
There's
a
your
movie to
plot.
showcase some special effects. Krampus was high on that list of dumbass movies, and we can't talk about it in our house. I can tell you what Jester's least favorite Christmas movie is, and
Go
we're
ahead,
gonna
would
watch
you
me
tell?
go on a 5-minute tirade now. It's Gremlins.
Oh my
Oh.
god!
I forgot
Oh
about
my
that.
god!
But I was gonna bring that
Zach,
up.
I love
you.
Gremlins, dude.
Gremlins
You don't like
is
Gremlins?
the worst. One of the worst movies ever made. And if I ever meet
Oh
Steven
my
Spielberg,
gosh.
I'm going to give
Hey,
him a
man.
big hug for Jurassic Park, but I'm going to punch him in the balls for Gremlins.
let me clarify
All right.
for Josh Joshua who does not know this story. Zach Galligan is who I don't like. Gremlins was great. Zach
Oh,
Galligan.
yeah, I heard about that. Yeah.
Zach Galligan stole my Kind bars, and I will never forgive him. He owes me $30. So to tell the story, I volunteer at Pensacon every year,
Mm-hmm.
and last year I was a area manager for one of the venues where they were doing I keep on saying podcasts. They were doing panels. Unfortunately, it was not the Nerdcast panel with Jay. It included Zach Galligan.
That's where we met, though.
That is where we met. Yeah, it was. So I have candy. I have like little snack stuff and little Kind bars for my employees, the people who are working with me, in the back room. And I walk back there, and Zach Galligan's eating one. I'm like, okay, whatever, he can have one. He leaves, and he ate a box and a half.
Jesus.
A box and a half.
Well, I mean, let's say he is a B-rate actor, so he probably he's all the help he can get.
He needs it.
Yeah.
So
He was like,
He needs
goddamn,
this.
these things are
Give it to him.
expensive.
I've made it 41
Well-
years of my life without having a mortal enemy. I now have a mortal enemy, and it's Zach Galligan. And he could come back, and I'd punch him in the face and never be allowed to be a volunteer again.
Oh, so Jay, is that your issue too, or what don't you like about the Gremlins?
Jason just hates good movies.
My aunt, who was 10 years older than me, used to take me to movies when I was a little kid. We used to go to the movies all the time because we kind of grew up like my brother's 5 years older than me. She's 10 years older than me. And we grew up kind of like brothers and sister and not like, aunt and nephew. So she used to take me to the movies all the time. And she took me to see Gremlins when I was 7, thinking it was a kid's movie. And it destroyed me until I had to sleep with the lights on until I was about 13 years old because of that movie. And I'm not lying. I was a teenager before I could sleep with the lights off because of Gremlins. That's why I'm going to punch Steven Spielberg in the balls when I meet him.
Oh, that's funny.
Really?
That's funny.
'Cause I don't remember how old I was, but it couldn't have been very far into the double digits. I mean, maybe 10 when I saw Gremlins. And
I was
didn't
7.
get a scary vibe at all.
Dude, I was horrified by that movie. I don't know
It was
why.
so funny.
Something about it. I thought there were gremlins under my bed. I thought there were gremlins in the toilet. I thought there were gremlins in the closet. I was petrified of fucking gremlins when I was a kid because of Steven Spielberg going, hey, let's have these murderous little fucking monkeys all over the place and let's give it a PG rating. Great. Sounds like a good fucking idea. Fuck you, Steven Spielberg. I'm going to punch one of your fucking balls off.
Oh my god.
By the way, Murderous Fucking Monkeys was the punk band I was in high school. Just so you know.
So that's my rant about Gremlins.
Punk
Some
band.
of the newer movies are really terrible as far as Christmas movie goes. There's a Netflix, I think it's a Netflix original movie called Noel, and it's hot garbage. It is a dumpster fire. I don't know if you guys have seen it yet. Like, I was jazzed because it looked kind of like Elf, but everybody's right. It's kind of like a one-off. And I started watching it, and I was like, I don't know why I did this to myself.
Well, if you're watching
It is
Netflix,
so
there's a
bad.
stop button. You don't have to keep watching.
Yeah.
No, now that I remember, it's on Disney Plus, and the reason I couldn't stop it is because Jillian was real big into it. She was like, "This is a great movie," and I was like, "Shit,"
Oh, the
like,
things we've watched for family. I'm gonna tell you right now, I have seen every single season of Charmed because of my ex-wife.
God.
Yep, start to finish, every single one. That
Oh,
is
before I forget,
months
while
of my
I'm
life
thinking
I'll
about
never
it,
get back.
it's not a movie, but one thing I have to watch every single year is Charlie Brown Christmas.
Oh, right. That's a good one.
Yeah,
That was
I have
tradition in my
to.
house. Yeah.
Well,
So,
And are you still getting paid royalties for that movie, Jason?
Very funny.
See,
You Charlie Brown.
we've had this conversation. I'm okay with jumping up and down at Jason for just about anything, but you can't do his looks because I maintain he is the after picture to my before. So if you make fun of his looks, you're just saying that I look even, I don't even know what.
Hey,
So
just you wait, buddy. Just you wait.
I came to that conclusion this summer when I was playing Mass Effect Legendary, and I created my shepherd, and it was just freaking Jason in an armor.
Yeah.
Because I made the bald head and the beard. I'm like, it looks like Jason.
Yeah, I do the same thing. I made my shepherd look like me.
all right. Since you guys jumped to the video games, what's the best Christmas themed game that you've played?
Batman Returns on the Super Nintendo.
Division.
I was gonna say Batman Arkham Origins.
Ooh, that's
That's
good.
also
Yeah.
there.
That's pretty
Division?
good. The Division. Yeah, I mean, have you guys played the Division?
I love the
Never played
Division.
that.
Oh wow, that is a well. I thought it was a treat. Some people might not, but I mean, because definitely when you're starting getting into the gear and you start getting all the weird stuff. But as far as the story and the feel of New York during during COVID. During a huge horrible disease issue in New York, it has a lot of good feel to it. So, Mike? Did you ever play that?
I did not. I'm not much for the shooter sneak.
He doesn't like the shooters.
I don't like shooters, but also with the Tom Clancy ones, I'm horrible, and I've heard Jay say this too. We're brothers on this. I don't stealth.
Yeah,
Right.
I can't.
At all.
I don't think there is a stealth to that game, really.
Well,
I mean,
know a lot
because
of the Tom
it's more of
Clancy's had
a
the little stealth
right.
goals
I know the Splinter Cell and all those were really stealthy, but with the Division, it was more like a not quite an MMO, but it was online and you played in a group with other folks, and they had like different level areas, and anyway, I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah,
I thought they did a real good job.
Especially in PvP areas like that, I am cannon fodder. If you want a guy on your team to run out in the middle and distract him while they kill me over and over again, while you go around and do the thing, I'm your guy.
Well, if I ever play squad again, I'll definitely pick him.
What's this guy doing out in the middle? I don't know. Kill him.
I
only
can't
one I
really
ever
think of
did well
any.
Oh,
I can't really think of any other Christmas-based video games.
I've been trying to
honestly.
think of one and I can't.
Yeah, that's the only ones I can think of.
You could say things like "Don't Starve." "Don't Starve" always has like a winter theme, so that's a good
Well, yeah.
The Long Dark. Did you guys ever see that one or play that one?
The Long Dark, yes.
Yeah.
Mm-mm. I used to enjoy the Christmas celebrations in World of Warcraft when I used to play back in the day.
I like playing The Sims because The Sims Holidays has like Christmas stuff, and so Santa Claus comes down, and sometimes if you mod that game, hilarious shenanigans happens with Santa Claus. So he's called Father Christmas in that game, but he just like walks into your house and like your sim will get mad and like shoot him out of there, like, get, Yeah, I love The Sims. The Sims is amazing, especially whenever you mod the game. So you can make
What kind of mods do you use?
You don't want to know.
Huh.
Oh.
Okay, that's a podcast episode.
I could attest to that. We'd have to change the rating of the show.
I just had a really good idea for a Christmas-themed video game. A third person, like kind of behind the shoulder or behind the person view, Christmas game where you actually play Santa Claus. You have to load up the sleigh, and you have to actually go and deliver the presents, but you have to avoid obstacles along the way. Like, some people's houses you'll go into and like they'll come after you with like a shotgun or something, and you have to like dodge and do stuff like that. I think that would be pretty fun.
I can get behind that.
I'd buy that.
I can get behind that.
And I if you did it in the App Store, I'd probably pay to not die a couple times. So
yeah. You could pull it. Anybody know how to program Anybody know how to program for an app?
That sounds like one
Maybe
of
we
those
could,
mobile games, so you can take
That's
your
what
phone.
I'm gonna
and be
say.
like,
It could just be a nice little mobile game that you
Yeah.
play.
Hmm.
So if anybody out there, you got some programming under your belt, hit me up. nerdcaveretro@gmail.com or openmicerspodcast@gmail.com. Either one of those you'll get me. Just hit something at gmail.com and you'll land on one of my Gmail accounts.
Or if you just look for trending yoked, you'll find open micers.
Yeah, you will, dude. Have you seen my shoulders lately, bro? I'm looking scrambled. You know what I'm saying?
Jacob is working out. Jacob's working out and eating burgers.
Oh,
No,
yeah, I'm
he's
getting
not.
yoked, dude.
No, he's not. He's just eating burgers. That's all he's doing. There's no working out going on.
I shared it was on Facebook. I don't know because you're not on Facebook a lot, Jason, but everyone else here is on my Facebook. Did you see where I shared and I tagged you in it, Jacob? It was from Always Sunny, and it was the season that what's his name got big.
Matt,
Oh, yeah,
Matt, where Matt got big, and it's just I'm cultivating mass.
everybody hated it too. Like even behind the scenes, everybody hated it.
I tagged you anyways because
Yeah,
I
that's me right
immediately thought of you. All right, guys, let's
I don't think I saw that.
you'll have to look because
Wait. There was a question. Is there a zombie Christmas movie? And I have an answer.
have you
There
been
is
quietly
a zombie
researching that?
Christmas movie. Yeah, I have. It's called The Zombie Christmas. It was made in 2020. It looks like shit, but I'm gonna watch it. It's got 2.5 stars, but it's
Oh,
called
even
The
better.
Zombie Christmas. Yeah, or Christmas
What's it streaming
Zombies.
on?
Sorry, Christmas Zombies.
What's it streaming on?
Let me find out.
I thought you just found it.
Shut up. Nobody asked you.
So,
Let's see.
since we are doing a podcast on Christmas movies, I had to find out what the first Christmas movie ever was.
Ooh.
And it was in 1898, and it was called Santa Claus, and it only lasted for a minute. So,
Wow.
actually, you can check it out on, I think YouTube has it, but that's the earliest ever Christmas movie. So, for all those of you useless trivia, that's what it is.
Spoiler alert: if you watch it on YouTube, the ad that shows before it will be longer than the 1-minute movie.
Probably so.
Christmas Zombies is streaming on Amazon Prime, but because it's a shit movie, you just have to buy it. It's $7.99.
Okay.
But it's got a 5.1 out of 10, y'all. So
Well, I
there's
mean,
potential.
you sell it so well. It's $7 and gets 2 stars. Yes, please.
Yeah, let's do it.
I figured
I'm
it might have
gonna
been
watch
like
it.
a
I say
Shudder
that, but
original.
Momthulu is my wife, so technically speaking, I will be paying. We will be buying it.
Yeah, we will. We're gonna watch it. And you say that as if Shudder's not coming up in the world. They are. They're coming.
Oh yeah.
They've got some good shit. Have you seen the Creep Show? The
No,
Creep Show?
I-
Oh my god.
I haven't seen it yet.
You got to.
I'm so behind on everything.
You got to. It's so good. It's so good. I can't stress. Like the very first time I ever signed up for, because I love horror movies. Period. The end, and I'll watch them until I can't sleep. But I was like, oh, you mean nothing but horror movies? Sign me up, and I did. And I was like, this is terrible. This is absolutely terrible. I mean, I can watch Sleepaway Camp, which is an amazing horror movie, or I can. You're laughing, but it is.
No. I'm only laughing because I remember it.
It's so bad. It's bad. It's so bad. It's good. But
I'm the person that'll watch Chopping Mall like 5
Right.
times in a row. So
right. And so you
Yeah.
know, they were just terrible movies, but they've got some really good ones now. They're paired up with AMC, so shit's getting real over with Shudder. So check
hell
it out
yeah,
again.
it's only like $5 a month. So
Actually,
If they
I
put
don't know.
Mississippi River Sharks on there, I'm in.
I think I saw something like that on there, but I don't know if it was exactly that, but there was some shit about sharks on there. If you go onto AMC Plus, it's included with it, and I got AMC Plus for a whole year for $20. So
Damn.
Not bad.
yeah,
Because they
and
want
now
you to
I
go to the
can.
theaters. Please come to the theaters. Please. Please. All right.
So just saying.
All right. If Momthulu is done with the zombie movie,
Yeah,
Well-
I'm good.
we're gonna let everyone tell us where they can find you. Jay, where can we find you?
you can find me at Open Micers, open Micers on Twitter and Instagram. At JFunktastic is my individual Twitter and Instagram. Also the at Nerd Cave Retro as well. If you like retro games, go follow at Nerd Cave Retro. You can find all three of those on Twitter and Instagram.
All right, Jacob, how about you? Where can we find you?
Yeah, man. Follow Open Micers on Facebook. You can catch me in the gym because I'm getting fucking yoked. And if you like stand-up comedy, I know you're local to Florida. I'm going to be opening for Nick Youssef in Mobile, Alabama, which isn't that far of a drive. January 13th at the Alabama Music Box. I'll be opening for Nick Youssef, so that's pretty cool.
And for our people who aren't necessarily in Florida, you host an open mic in Ocean Springs, don't you?
Yeah, Ocean Springs, Mississippi, every Tuesday night. I host an open mic at the Juke Joint in Ocean Springs, Mississippi.
All right, Mr.
Yeah.
Jack, where can we find you and your stuff?
When I heard that I was going to be on a podcast with two stand-up comedians, I was a little bit nervous because I'm not a stand-up comedian. I'm more of a sit-down comedian. But more dad jokes. Anyway, for those of you that like to read, I put word to paper, and you can find me. You can just go to Google and Google author J.E. space Jack, and you'll see. I'm on Amazon. I have 3 novels out, and I'm on Facebook. You can the same author J.E. Jack. And you can also contact me at authorjejack@gmail.com if you have any questions regarding writing, indie publishing, or anything along that nature. I'm more than happy to help you out. So appreciate it. And thank you for having me, Mike. I really enjoyed it.
Momthulu, how about you? You have anything coming up?
Nope. Still you. But no, actually, I am gonna start getting back into streaming. I rejoined our charity community, Good for Gaming, so I'm gonna do some stuff with them again. I know that we have a Christmas, maybe not a Christmas one, but we're having a community game up night here soon where we like to play Among Us. So that's it. But no, you can't really find me a lot of other places because I'm just here with you all the time. But if you do catch me streaming on the rare occasion, you can find me at twitch.tv/Momthulu, where I keep talking about how I'm going to join up with Fuck Cancer, but I haven't done it yet. Maybe one day.
By the way, it's great to see you. It's awesome to see you on cam. You're doing great.
Thank you.
Yes, Momthulu usually hides behind a
I do.
I have a
I
graphic
hide
for her.
behind my anime.
All right. Before we do leave, I do want to shout out our 3 patrons. We have Mr. Derek Diamond, Firebrand, and did I just space on one of my own patrons?
You
oh my
did.
god, I just spaced on
You
one of my own
did.
patrons. Mr. Kyle
you
Kier,
go.
AMD
That's the last
himself.
one you're gonna
And it was our first one too. Oh my god, Mr. Kyle Kier, AMD from Twitch. Next week, well, they're not seeing this live this week because we had technical issues, but next week there will be a show recording, but it is a patron exclusive. We're going to be watching Ghostbusters 2016 and doing commentary, so you'll have to be a patron to see that happening. I have learned my lessons from my Halloween 3 prep, and I will not be showing the movie in the actual video of us commentating. I did that for Halloween 3. If you're a patron, you can go watch me. You can watch that. Otherwise, it can't exist anywhere because it's a 100% copyright infringement. Where I just Mystery Science Theater 3000 style put my face on top of their movie talking. But it exists behind a paywall, and don't you guys dare tell Halloween people.
Yeah. I don't think they
I'm
care.
gonna do that right now. Let me just call up John Carpenter.
That movie is garbage anyways, though, isn't it?
Oh, you're going to start a fight? You're going to start a fight? I got you, Jay. It was a good movie. I got you.
Yeah, no, it wasn't, though, was it?
So this is actually the last episode of the season. We'll be back.
Nobody liked you. You're like...
Guys, we'll be back after the holidays for a regular schedule. I believe Ghostbusters 2016 is the first episode we're doing after the holidays. And that'll be with the real big Wally Phelps himself. Otherwise known to 1/5 of the people here right now, the fact checker to the NCR.
Yes.
So keep a lookout for that. You can, like I said, be a patron, Jesters Court. And we'll see you guys next time. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Take care.